Hey guys, Paul here. In this video, we're going to be talking about a very simple and oh so powerful tool that you can use to get out of your songwriting ruts. We've all been there. We've had an inspiration that has come upon us and we have the basic song laid out. We have some stuff that we really like about it. We have a certain direction that the song feels like it wants to go, and we're like 80% of the way there, but we don't know what to do next. The song sounds too simplistic, too basic. It's as if the muse is whispering to us at various sections of the song, imploring us to go further here and do something there, but we can't follow her where she wants to go. This is something that I have struggled with so much over the years in my songwriting endeavors. And just in the past year, I have stumbled upon this method that I'm going to share with you today, and it has been a complete game changer. It's almost like a trick in a way. I don't want to frame it as like a hack because I don't really believe in hacks, but it is a very surprising way to bring about the kind of breakthrough that you're looking for. I was talking to a friend of mine just a few weeks ago, and she was sharing with me that she was stuck in a song like this, and I shared this process with her and thought it might be worthwhile to put this out in a video. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to share the process, and I'm going to walk you through how I used this in one of my songs. Now, the main problem is that we don't have the tools that we need to solve the creative problem that we are facing. And so what we tend to do is we go back inside the song and we go to the particular spot on the song that we feel like we want to do something with, and we just keep on trying. We just keep on spinning our wheels. So the method is basically this. Set down the song that you're working on and pick a song that you have been recently inspired by. There's going to be a song that's on your to learn playlist. It's an artist maybe you've just recently discovered, and it's something that is firing you up. So set your song aside, listen to that song a couple times through, get into that headspace, and then you bring that song and your song into the sandbox together, and you let them play. You let them explore and experiment. And you can imagine at the time before the interwebs, before there was a lot of connection and cross-pollination, you can imagine taking somebody who was, say, a classical Indian musician and bringing them into a room with, say, like a blues artist from Mississippi or something, and closing them in the room and saying, go, like make some magic happen. That's kind of what we're doing here. And so for me, the rules of the game are: don't overthink the selection of the song. This isn't a strategic, the song that I'm working on has this chord progression or it's in this time signature, so therefore this is something that's a very kind of intuition-led decision. And the second rule is only pick one song. All right, this is a kind of liberating constraint that we bring into this process. And then the last thing really about this for me is recognizing that my job as an artist is to be able to hold space for the discord, to be able to tolerate the discomfort and the frustration that comes from this kind of Frankensteining process. Because it's not all fun and games. There's a lot of dissonance and cacophony and confusion. And our job as artists is to be able to tolerate that and hold space for that and allow for some kind of magic to emerge. That being said, what I have found is there are three huge benefits that come from utilizing this method. The first is that you bring into your song, which has, sometimes become like a barren wasteland of frustration. You don't always feel excited about jumping back into a song that has stalled out in this fashion. So what this does is it infuses by way of osmosis the energy of this new, fresh song that you have into your song. The second thing that it does is it leads to a breakthrough, typically in one particular place in the song, where there's a light bulb that goes off, and you say, oh man, I could do this like this. And as soon as you get that unlock, what I've found is it unlocks the whole song. The whole song then becomes flexible again. It becomes open again. It becomes inspired again. And so one breakthrough that comes directly from the song leads to other breakthroughs that then just bring the creative process back to life again. And the third thing that we get out of this process is a new tool in the tool belt. We internalize something that we've taken from somewhere else, but now we've brought it in a way that we understand that thing experientially from the inside out in terms of how it has connected to a song that we know. So we've extended our vocabulary, we've added on to our music making toolkit. And then as an added bonus, you get a jump start on learning the song that you may have put off learning for a couple months anyways. As I was brainstorming how I wanted to lay this video out, the first thought I had was to try to bring you inside that sandbox and recreate some of the Frankensteinian ways in which I was playing around with this and just some of the different things I was exploring. And I decided against doing that for a couple of reasons. For one, it's a very messy process, and I don't think it would really lend itself to the underlying message I'm trying to convey here. I think it would just be distracting. And second of all, I thought that it might impart a certain kind of technique, or it's like, you know, to do this method, you've got to do it like this in the way that I was demonstrating. And what has been true every single time I've done this is that the ways that I've experimented with these connections have been different. So the last thing I want to do is turn this into something that has some kind of, you know, specificity about this is how you do it. There is no how. There's really no method. This is a very Bruce Lee kind of methodless method. So with all of that being said, what I'm going to do is play for you a chorus and a verse. The song is structured in chorus to verse of the original song that I wrote 10 plus years ago. At the time I was calling it Take Me Home. And for me, this has been a very cringeworthy process of reviewing this video from 10 years ago of me performing this song. But we can talk more about that some other time. It's actually really important to learn how to listen back and again, kind of like as I was talking about tolerating the discord, and to still be able to be present to the sound, to still be present to the experience. It's so important, I have found, to do that while listening back to things that are cringeworthy, because as soon as you tense up with the cringe, you're not really listening. And if you're not really listening, you're not seeing what's actually there, and you can't really learn. You can't really grow in the same way. But I digress. First things first, we're going to go through the original song, and then I'm going to play for you a little bit of this Andrew Duhon song that I have been loving. Actually, this whole album, I'm wearing a shirt, represent Parish Record. Highly recommend you check out this guy if you have not listened to him before. You can thank me later. Back to what I was saying earlier, this particular song wasn't the most inspiring song or the song that I wanted to learn with the most urgency. This was a little bit further down on the list, but for whatever reason, this was the one that came to mind when I thought to employ this method with this song. So we're gonna play probably just a verse and a chorus of his song, just so you can get the feel for it. And then what we're gonna do is walk through the direct influences. There's three main things that I've taken from this song that kind of worked their way in a very directly tangible way into my song. And then we're gonna cover some of the other things that emerged as the song unlocked and my creative imagination went to town. And then at the very end, we'll do a run through of the new song in its entirety if you care to take a listen. So let's jump in. All right, here we go. So this is from 2015, early 2015, from New York City. A company called Big City Stories was doing a fundraiser. A friend of mine was a part of this group. She's an artist and knew I'd been playing guitar and invited me to play for this fundraiser they were doing. And this is when it was still called Take Me Home, before its metamorphosis into what it is now called, which is My Westward Gaze. So, and we're actually starting with the verse and going into the chorus. I will explain why here very shortly. Here it is.
To those lands on here, to the South Haven shore, I'm just a Michigan boy, forevermore. Take me home, take me home.
Here's the chorus. That was actually just the B part of the verse.
To where I belong. This is cold. The night sleepless and long. One fine day I shall rise home and glorious train, back to those sweet land of my westward gaze.
All right, so there you have it. That's enough to get us going. The first thing that jumps out at me here is the tempo. It is just so painfully slow, and that definitely is something that needs to be rectified. The other thing that was really challenging for me with this song, I remember at the time being really frustrated, was that the chorus and the verses both have the same chord progression. And there are songs out there where the chorus and the verse have the same chord progression, but it's not always a good thing. You know, I wanted to have some kind of variety. The melody for the chorus and the verse were the same melody. Everything is the same. It was just same, same, same all the way throughout. The other thing that, especially upon reflecting back on this now, that was standing out to me was that the chorus isn't really firmly established. Not only is it repetitious, and you can't really see here the difference between the verse and the chorus. I also change up, as you'll see very shortly, the B part of the chorus, so it's not even really clear what the chorus is. We haven't really established what the chorus is, and so it's just really soupy. It's just very unclear what is this a chorus, is this the verse, and then it drags on and on and on, and it's all this, and it's all so slow. So those are the challenges, those are the frustrations, those are the sticking points, you know, as I often did and still do in my songs. I'm always wanting to bring something like a bridge, or bring something like a pre-chorus, or bring something interesting. I listen to music and there's, so often something just spicy and interesting and unexpected that gives what's otherwise a very basic song just enough pizzazz, just enough intrigue to make the whole song interesting. And so we're going to see how this all takes shape. First, let's jump into this Andrew Duhon song. This is called Just In Case. It's an incredible song. Again, we're just going to listen to a verse and a chorus, and then we'll jump into the aftermath of some of these influences that I was able to take from this song. Let's give a listen.
This is my favorite pastime, right on down to the last time We won't even know at that time. Ain't no telling how or when. Not something that I try to dwell in. It's just a truth I think is worth telling. This is gold and we ain't selling. It's yours and mine to spend. Raise one to the journey, one more to the journey's end. Just in case we never meet again. Just in case we never meet again. Just in case we never meet again. Oh, na, 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 na. 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 Oh, na, 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 na.
So good. Those three-part harmonies. You got bass player and the drummer both singing, just absolutely beautiful. So we're going to move now to a little side by side so we can kind of follow along visually, and we'll show how this absolutely incredible song by Andrew Duhon was able to contribute some inspiration to this this metamorphosis of Take Me Home into My Westward Gaze. All right, here we go. We've got our side-by-side comparison of the before and the after. And very quickly here, just to get us started, the reason why I started with the verse and the chorus is because the video cut out here, and I couldn't do a full chorus in the verse. This chorus, as I mentioned, is the first half is really obviously the chorus. The second half, I just kind of did my own thing with it, and it's like, is this a verse? Is this a chorus? So this is the confusing one. And so I ended up starting halfway through this verse and then landing in this chorus. So, but as you see, the structure of the song starts with the chorus, take me home, and then we've got the verses. And if we look at just the chords, it's absolutely identical. There's this kind of A part, and then there's this B part, which are the same up to here. This one just kind of foregoes going to the 2, and just has this little turnaround here. And then we drop into the verse, which has the same structure and the same melody. Take me home to where I belong. And then it's like, to Kalamazoo, land of the true. Same, right? Okay, so that's the pickle that we're stuck in. So the first difference here is the influence of the key that I'm playing this in, and more importantly, the shape that I'm playing this in. So I'm trying to expand my comfortability with bar chords in this song, in the original version of it. And I really liked playing the 5, which is the E, that E7 with the open bass E ringing out. I thought that was super cool. And so I was doing the bar chord on the A and doing the 5 dominant 7 chord so that low E could kind of ring through. But it's key of A, it's in the G shape, if you will, in the caged kind of system. So if you noticed Andrew Duhon's song, he's got capo 4 and he's playing in the C shape. So as I was starting to play around, I really found some things in that shape that you can't really do when you're doing bar chords. So that's the first thing, is the influence on the shape. I moved this into the C shape, and in fact into the key of C. So no capo, first position, just playing in the key of C. So what he's got going on is something, he's doing something like this. Da 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 Right, so that rhythmically and with this little hammer-on thing, that was an element here that we'll see shortly worked its way in. And then the final thing that worked its way in comes from this walk down that he does, and the fact that he repeated it. I tend not to repeat as much as I think I could in choruses and elsewhere in the song. You listen to songs a lot of times, and just repeat the same thing again and again and again. And when you're listening to the song, it doesn't stand out as being repetitious. And it's actually kind of an important part of the, conveying of what it is that you're trying to convey. And so the fact that he turns that around a few times, just in case we never meet again, just in case we never meet again, just in case we never meet again. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na. Right? So that works its way in. So let's go back to our little side-by-side comparison. All right, so let's go through and listen now to a little sketch recording of My Westward Gaze, and we'll just start at the top and go through. So the only thing I changed in the chorus was, besides the key and the shape and all that jazz, was the lyric from Glory Bound, Glorious, I think was one of the choruses early on. So we just took that out and shifted gears there a little bit. So here we go. Let's take a listen.
Take me home, take me home.
So a little bit faster clip.
To where I belong.
A little bit higher register. Going from A to C.
Place in this city. Got no comforting arms.
To the G7.
One fine day I shall rise.
So I'm reaching here. I got to get a little more comfortable
On that
this higher register.
train. I'm back to those sweet lands. All of my westward gaze. I brought with me my castle.
So now here we are, a different melody, and this didn't come directly from Duhon's song. This was just playing around. I found a new melody. So here we'll kind of dance around here like we do in karaoke and go by the chords. You can see here, instead of 2 bars holding on the 1 and then 2 bars holding on the 4, and then go on to the major 2, we are rocking, and you'll hear that hammer on, transitioning from the 1 into the 4. And then instead of going up to the 2 like we do in the A part of the chorus, it jumps into this A minor walk down, landing on the 4. So let's give a listen. We'll just kind of go back just a skosh.
I brought with me my castle. On stones gathered by hand from Michigan beaches and soft wooded land. And these ramparts shall hold until this ocean
To reach.
and when the day is warm, baby, I'm coming home.
All right, right, so what we've got here now, we already have this aspect of the verse. Now we're getting into what is essentially a bridge. It's coming early in the song, but you know, I'm running with it. I really liked how it turned out. This did not come directly from Duhon's song. This was just something, you know, there's that 2 in the chorus, so this jumps up into the 2, and then it circles back around again. As you'll see, I'll walk you through as we listen. So this was just another one of those things that kind of unlocked once I got re-inspired and ended up falling into place in a way that I really enjoy. I really like it.
When the day is one, I'm coming home.
So there's to the 2.
When the day is one,
A dominant 7.
I'm coming home to you.
And then we're back to the chorus.
Take me home to where I belong. This city is cold.
In this original chorus, you can see I say the first words to the chorus, but then I just change the lyrics. So I ended up cutting this out entirely. Sometimes you have to kill your darlings. And just recycled another version of the chorus lyrics here, and then just repeated the same B part to the chorus. So now we're establishing, we've got 2 choruses here that are following the same everything, essentially. I mean, this part is different from the first one, but the theme is consistent, and that establishes for us what the chorus is, so we can bend the rules at the end of the song with the final chorus.
One fine day I shall ride on that faithful train, on back to those sweet lands of my westward gate. To Kalamazoo.
Oh yeah, because I don't have this figured out yet.
The land of the true.
This will be good enough.
To that great lake inferior, deep in the Mansalona interior.
So here we did, broke the rules again, broke the structure of the verse, and did like I did in the original song, and used what is now the chorus progression to the 2. So we still did rocking from 1 to 4 back here, but now we're jumping to the 2, and this is a little nod to a very small music festival that used to go on. It still goes on, but not in the same place in Mansalona. The pond on the property was dubbed Lake Inferior, but this is basically the same as it was in the original version. I just kind of kept it because it's got its own quirky kind of personality that is just part of what the song is. And then I ended up pushing this to what we're going to check out here next in the pre-chorus, and I wrote a new verse. Just had a rockin' time up in Marquette a few weeks ago, and I've loved Marquette for a long time. I used to go with my uncle to an art festival that he used to be a part of up in Marquette, and just beautiful. There's a little tip of the hat to California Dan, who's a bass player from up there. He's written a song about Michigan, and he's got a very similar lyric in his song that I was listening to, being the jewel in the crown. And so that is where this comes from. So onward we go with this verse.
Into the arms of Marquette, she's a jewel in the crown of Our Lady Superior in those copper country towns.
Okay, so now I'm pushing the limits here, and I may come back in a month's time and reevaluate this and think maybe I tweaked it a little bit too much, maybe I'm doing too much with it. But I wanted to get this in the song, and I wanted to find a way to transition back into the chorus with a little bit of punch, because this is another tip of the hat to a song from a local band who hit John. Christopher Kane was the author of that song, I believe. And it's called Michigan Boy. You can find it on Spotify. I will put a link in the show notes. You should definitely check it out. It's a really fun song, but that's a song I kind of grew up with, so to speak, in my early musicking days. And, it's just got the punch. That's kind of really what the heart of the song, opposing the longing of going home, is really all about, So what I did is bring a pre-chorus into the mix. So we're going back to the chords here of the chorus. We've got 2 bars on the 1, 2 bars on the 4. And I'm throwing these lyrics on top of that to bring us with a bang back into the final chorus. And I'm still figuring out how to extend this lyrically so I can hold on to the continuity without it kind of dragging, since I'm going from 1 bar of the 1 to 2 full bars of the 1. So I am still kind of, working that out, but we'll run through and see what we've got so far.
On the Gladstone Pine to the South Haven shore, I'm just a Michigan boy forevermore.
And then now we're going into the final chorus.
Take me home to where I belong. Got no place in this city. Got no comforting arm. One fine day I shall ride on that glory-bound train.
All right, so here I'm following the muse again, and this really kind of pulls us into the westward gaze and to that repetition that I was talking about. We already had some of the repetition in that bridge, but here we are just following this feeling of dropping back into that A minor walk down and repeating that a couple of times. So this is what we got so far for that.
Back to those sweet lands of my westward gaze. Those sweet lands of my westward gaze.
And that brings us to the outro, which is similar to the original outro. So we got a lot of references here as I'm longing for home. The Hearth and Hymn was an album that was recorded actually in the house that I was living in. Samantha Cooper and Elisabeth Pixley-Fink recorded this absolutely angelic album of hymns. And so that's a reference there. Let's give a listen to what we've got.
To the Hearth and Hymn, familiar tunes getting played. Oh, my home, sweet home is where my true love lay. Oh, sweet home is where my true love lays. In my westward gaze.
Hear the metronome ticking away there in the background. So that's what we've got. And Again, it's still, what I feel like this does is it takes a process that is kind of hardened, like clay, and it softens it again, and it makes it malleable. And I'm still pretty fresh in this process. The shape hasn't really consolidated. I mean, it never really fully does, but it's 90% of the way there. So don't get attached. If you liked what you heard, it's going to probably change a little bit as time goes on. But yeah, that is the process, with the actual transformation still living in a bit of a black box, because that is yours to discover in your own process as to how that creative alchemy takes place. I hope you found this useful. I hope you found that this process was explained in a way and demonstrated in a way that you can take this and bring some new life back into some songs of yours that maybe have stalled out and need a little CPR. So best to you, and we'll see you in the next video.